Hey, welcome back to another episode of Simply Single. This week, we're talking about an issue that I'm sure many singles have to face at one time or another. I know I did when I was single, and that is family and friends trying to fix you up. I'm sure it's an issue we can all relate to, and that's why we're going to talk about it this week. How do you handle the big fix-up? Let's take it out to the streets and see what you have to say first.
Okay. That never goes well. I've never had an experience with that where it actually ended well. So I tend to just tell people I'm not interested or anything like that. I'm one of those people, I just kind of spit out the harsh reality. If I don't really like somebody or I'm not looking for a girlfriend, I just tell them. And it's always worked out for me, but I try to stay away from that as much as possible.
I have not been fixed up by anybody. I do basically what Logan said, and I just say I'm not interested. It's not something that I'm looking for at the time. I believe that God will send me somebody that is meant to be for me in my time, not with somebody saying, hey, this person's gonna work, or that person's gonna work, or we think you guys would look cute together. I avoid it as much as possible.
Okay. Well, thank you for sharing your thoughts about that, and let's bring it into the studio. Before we get started with the discussion, first I want to thank Dom for coming back with us. We missed you the last couple of episodes, and so we're looking forward to what you have to share. So the big fix-up. How do you handle the big fix-up? Now, I know everybody around our seating here has had mom or dad or siblings or children or best friends, or not even best friends, church people, try to fix you up. I know I went through it, and I know you've gone through it. So let's get ready to spill the beans. How do you handle the big fix-up? First of all, how do you feel about getting fixed up by family and friends?
I think it's great. It's honestly my preferred way to meet new people. I mean, obviously, we've got something in common. That's the person that's fixing us up. So I feel like it's a little better match. At the very least, I know they're not a serial killer.
Okay, because your good friends wouldn't do that to you.
That's right.
And that's assuming they know the person.
Hopefully, whoever it is that's setting me up, I know them well enough to know the kind of person they are, and like attracts like. So if they're in my friend's life, surely they're a step above.
Okay. What about anybody else? How do you handle or like getting fixed up?
Well, family is better as far as choosing from me. Mm-hmm. Friends tend not to be. It depends on how close a friend you are. Usually your close friends sometimes are in the same boat as you are.
Okay.
But the people who think that they're your friends and think that they know what you like tend to fix you up with people that they think will be good for you, not necessarily actually are.
Okay, and that can create a little problem sometimes.
Just a little bit. Sometimes a problem between the friendship.
That's true.
It's like, what were you thinking? Did you really think that would be okay for me?
Well, it's funny because in the book that I wrote, Nobody Ever Told Me I Might Not Get Married, I have a chapter in there about love helpers, and that's what I call these people, love helpers, whether you choose them to be or whether they just make themselves love helpers. And I used to wonder sometimes, are you just choosing men because they have the anatomy that make them a man, or do you really think that I would be interested in that person? And sometimes it was, like, they're, especially married people who already had their spouses, and their men are like gorgeous and nice and kind, and the first guy that's a visitor at church. Hey, Patty, did you see that guy? Okay, yeah, and he's single. Yeah, and I mean, like, no.
I was going to say, I get that a lot more from married people, because married people are just like, oh my gosh, I know 2 single people. It's magic. And, because married people tend to hang out together, and then single people tend to hang out together. So the married people are the ones that, their intentions are good, but a lot of times it's more of a mismatched date. And so,
I also find what is interesting about it is it does change sometime your relationship, with the person, because if you're not interested in the person,
Well, I was going to say, if it doesn't work out.
yeah, then they're, well, what happened? Well, I thought, and you're too picky, and he was great, and on and on and on. So it does bring a strain. It can bring a strain sometime on the relationship. I have wonderful daughters, and my daughters love to try to fix me up, and that's just great. It's hilarious most of the time. And what I found is the daughter that tries to fix me up the most is married already.
Okay.
And so they see a different perspective, and they're, like Mindy said, oh, they're single, and you're like, no, but if you weren't married, would you want to be with that person?
Exactly.
And or they're in a different frame of mind as well. Like, well, at least he's this, that, and the other, and at least he has a job. And when someone says "at least" to me, that's a red flag right there.
Oh, you have to become an expert in decoding language.
Yes.
Because he's really nice.
Right.
Usually means he doesn't look like much.
Right.
And so personality is the paramount thing, and you get a little skittish.
Well, to me, the word "for" is the red flag. He is great for, or he looks good for, or he's nice for. I mean, the instant they say "for," it's just like,
Yes. Yeah.
I didn't have a lot of that, but I had some, and it all depends who is telling me, from whom it's coming from, because usually my sister, we kind of have a similar taste, so
Okay.
I kind of listen to her a little more, and my brother, who is pastor, so he kind of cares for me. We're close in age, so he always look after me. But they kind of trust me, they don't push a lot. Sometimes help, sometimes I kind of, don't worry, I'm okay. So.
I'm opposed to it. I do not like people trying to fix me up with folks. First, I am picky. So if someone is going to try to fix me up with somebody, they know, seriously, you got to come correct. No offense. And so I haven't had any, I guess, good experiences with that. It's never even gotten to the point where I've gone on a date with the person. I'm funny about that. Yes, I just want it to happen. I think God is the only help that I need. I don't know. Maybe that's just me. Maybe it's just me. But I don't like
but
it.
He does work through people.
And I have to
there
say,
have been some
maybe I missed out.
fabulous fix-ups with God actually leading people, And I know this is a funny little story, but this friend of mine, she was actually praying for me, and she said, I'm interested in this person for you and all that. Well, they ended up getting married, which is very funny.
yes, to someone else.
No, to that person.
To that person
that she
who was praying for you.
Yes,
Oh, that's hilarious.
Yes. But I really respect her prayers and her interest. And they're a great couple. But God really can work through other people. You just have to sort of be open to whatever and trust that God is going to cut it, block it if it's not what it needs to be. Just like you said, you never even got to go out on it.
It was blocked.
That was God blocking it. Yeah. But
Well, and I have to agree, and I was going to save it for later, but that's how I met my husband, was through a fix-up. So let me just throw that out there, okay? What were you gonna say, Mindy?
I was just going to say, I used to be like Dom, and I mean, you used to have all these things before we'd even go on the first date.
Yeah.
And then someone explained to me that they said, Mindy, the first date's not the Super Bowl, the first date's spring training. They said, that's all the first date is, spring training. It's practice. Yeah. You may or may not like it. It's not a big deal, but I used to build up that first date so much in my head. Oh my gosh, I had to have the new outfit, the new makeup, just, it's a first date. Now I don't even, it's like getting coffee or whatever. I'm just meeting someone new, and that takes a lot of the pressure off. And it's a lot easier to say, gosh, let's just be friends. Right. We see each other out and about, let's just wave and say hi.
And we're going to come back to that whole pressure thing. Ruth, you want to say?
Well, yeah, I like I said, depends who is trying to fix me up. Because sometimes family is kind of more like, they feel uncomfortable that I'm still single.
Right.
Well, I was married, but I'm single. And it's kind of, they worry about me, and then I'll say, "Oh, if something happened to you, who's gonna take care of you?" I always
Right.
say the same one who has been taking care of me.
Yes,
since
yes,
I was
yes.
born. You know? And also because I don't have children. Well, I don't have to have children. I already decided I don't want children. I'm okay. So. But if it depends who, like I said, if somebody may try to fix me up, and I may accept it. It never worked so far. I've never been out with nobody who tried to fix it. Never. So hey, I'm open.
Yes. Okay. Okay. But you were talking about pressure, and for those of us who have gone through the fix-up, when we come back, I want to talk about maybe some of the pressure or expectations that are created when people try to fix you up. So stay with us because the conversation is just getting good.
1 in 4 households.
40% of all women have never been married. Wait! Don't get weighed down in gloomy facts. Download this new ebook by Patrice Thomas Conwell. Follow her journey to accept and appreciate the single life. Nobody ever told me I might not get married. One woman's journey to acceptance. Available at these retailers and more. Thanks for rejoining us because our conversation was just getting started and we do a lot of talking in between takes here. And I said, you all need to say this on camera. So the big fix-up, I know, because I remember it so well, how the pressure, I felt like I was on stage for the people who were doing the fixing up, and I had to perform a certain way. And then you have these expectations that are created in your head about who the person is and what he's about, and will this be it or won't it be it? I mean, so how do you deal with the pressure and the expectation? And some of what Mindy said is about evolving to the point where you don't feel that pressure. But initially, you've got that pressure and everybody expecting, you know, great things to happen.
Well, they want to answer like the moment you've talked to this person that they've introduced you to. And what people fail to realize is you were never actually in a personal relationship with these people that you're hooking me up with. What you were was an outside friend. You might have seen them at the barber shop, or you saw them at the grocery store, or you saw the facade that they were putting on at church, you know, just smiling, walking about, but you never actually got to know them. So when I come back and say, well, this person isn't really, I don't know, they don't really embody Christian to me. And they're like, what do you mean? They're in church every week. I was like, yeah, but they're not nice. They're not kind. They're not patient.
So it's almost like their pride kind of gets in the way.
Yeah, like you
you're
did
rejecting
something
my
wrong.
choice, so
I was
you're
like,
rejecting
maybe
me.
I did do something wrong, but
or that I'm a
get out of
bad
it.
judge of character.
Yeah.
Like you think I would do? Oh, I know that you just it was a bad day for you or whatever. But I do know that it's really important when someone tries to fix you up that you set the ground rules. This may not work. How is that going to affect? It's no reflection on you. All of those things need to be put in place before you actually accept the person fixing up, because it can become personal for the person.
Well, I always say I'm always open to meeting someone for coffee. I mean, I'll meet anybody for coffee. It's broad daylight, after 15 minutes I can be gone if there's absolutely no future. To me, a 2-hour date at night, that's a whole nother ballgame. To me, that's after coffee, after I've determined, hey, you're not a serial killer.
Right. But what happens is when that person fixes you up, they have more than likely pumped this person up about you as well. And so then that person takes it personal too, because they were like, oh, you were supposed to be it or whatever, and you don't like me? Who do you think you are? Type thing. So it can get really, really shaky there. But as long as everyone knows that this is just what it is, and I am just a believer, is if I have to watch you, even if you say this is a fix-up or whatever, let me observe, because I don't even want to waste your time, your money, my time, my effort, none of that. My good outfit, or whatever. Like, man, I wasted my good outfit on that loser or whatever.
You wear it at the next fix-up.
Right.
He hadn't seen it.
Yeah, but I don't want to do that. I don't believe that that's of God. If that person does not fit what God has said for me in the beginning, then I don't even really need to entertain that.
I think that's where, your family or your friends who are doing the fixing really need to know you well.
Right,
And like you said, you need to set those ground rules. Because the other thing then is that they're all up in your business all the time.
Right.
After they fixed you up.
Yes.
And the constant calling and
Yeah,
tell me all the details.
I had a small family reunion some couple of months ago, and especially one of my sisters, oh man, she came on me hard about not being married, not having children, and I have to. And my best friend was there. She's older than me. Oh, she fixed them up because, oh my goodness, she said, I don't worry about Ruth. She is fine. I know where she's going. I mean, I was like, thank you. I kind of have my plans already. And if it's not time, it's not time. I always say, my husband is somewhere, and he's better be doing the right thing. God knows the right time, the right person. I don't worry about it.
Right.
So it depends from whom it comes from.
And that kind of attitude goes back to Mindy's attitude about, I'm just meeting another person. Here's another great person. And that's the attitude that I evolved to in order to take that pressure off of myself and take the expectation off so that I wasn't disappointed. It's just another person I'm meeting, and, that's it. At the very least, we could be friends.
Well, and something else I had to learn in the past 10 years, I think I talked last time about everyone's reality is 90% perception. And so when I was newly single again, going out, oh my gosh, are they going to like me? Oh my gosh, what about this? I mean, it was like this big production because it was all about them. Are they going to like me? Well, guess what?
They're wondering the same.
They need to be impressing me.
That's exactly.
I'm going to be part of this marriage. And so now I go out on it. And I'm asking myself, Mindy, what do you think of them? What do I think of them? Because it's, as a woman, I think the men should be stepping up and coming after the women and more performing for the women. Now, I had to learn that. I mean, when you're newly divorced, 24, insecure, crazy head, I mean, that was a hard thing. I mean, that was something that the word evolved is a great word because I had to evolve to that. But now, it's spring training, and they're performing for me.
It's funny because you can get to the point where I got the day that I was supposed to meet this person I was being fixed up with, who now is my husband of 20 years. At work, he was in D.C., I worked in Baltimore. My hair was pulled back in a bun, and my friends at work were like, oh, are you going to do your hair? No. It's fine. It's in a ponytail. Well, at least you're going to put your contacts in? I might. And then I might not.
Right.
Because whatever he sees is what he sees. And, and you do get to that point is I'm not trying to impress anybody. And if he doesn't like it, then that's it. That's on him. Well, thankfully he liked it. He didn't care that my hair was in a ponytail.
Yeah, and my sister also, the same sister, she's like, oh, you have to put makeup on and all that. Like how are you going to go out like this? Said, well, look, if I marry somebody, am I going to wake up with all makeup and all kinds? This is who I am. I'm not going to try to, impress, and it's not even real. So.
But actually, from a biblical standpoint, is that man is supposed to try and impress us. It's just like what Jesus likens himself unto the bridegroom. And we are the bride, and he fixes for us. It's just like even in heaven, he hasn't asked us what we will like and what colors we want our mansion to be. He knows us so well, and he is out to please us. He says, I have not seen, ear have not heard, what's in store. And it's the same thing that the man is supposed to be, that person. What do I bring to this? What do I have? And in biblical time, and even sooner than that, they had the dowry, where, okay, this is what we have to offer, and what are we going to bring to the table? And the world has changed our look on that, where the woman has got to try to do so much and please, and maybe this is the person, and oh, what if I don't look like this? And I need, and all we need to do is just be rested in God. That's it. And they will see whatever beauty it is, because there's someone for everyone. And whether we're fixed up or not, God knows exactly what that person, what that person is going to bring to us, and what he's going to see in us.
That's great. That's great. And so Ladies, you don't have to be scared of the fix-up. Don't close your mind totally, because as I said, that's how I met my husband, through my best friend. And you know, and she was talking to me, and her husband was talking to him, and we both said we don't want to meet. It was about any games. If they're not serious, don't even start it. And that goes back to what you were saying, setting those ground rules. You know, because I think some of the advantage of your friends and family is that if you want to be married, and they know that, then, you know, they want to help. And that's really how I looked at it. They want to help. So when we come back, we're going to wrap things up. But first, let's take it back out to the streets to find out some more about how you feel about the big fix-up.
I think it depends on who it comes from. Sometimes you'll meet strangers and they'll want to fix you up with somebody. You know, in my line of business, I deal with a lot of outside customers, and I'll deal with them. They're like, oh, I think you and so would be great. Let me get your number and all that type of stuff. And I don't have as much pressure from them, but close friends and family, when they want to hook me up, I feel a little bit more pressure to maybe be obligated to maybe go meet this person and at least give them a chance. And even when you tell them, like, they're not really my type, they're kind of like, well, just give them a chance. You know, they're a nice person. You just have to get to know them. So I try not to let so many people fix me up anymore. If they're that nice, maybe they're nicer for somebody else, but maybe not nice for me.
Well, as usual, we like to hear what you have to say, and we appreciate your comments. And so, as we go out, really quick, a lesson learned about getting fixed up. Anybody? One lesson.
Just to be open to it. I mean, God wants us in relationship.
Be open to it. Anybody else? One lesson.
I really feel like that look at the person that's fixing you up, and are they really godly people, and where are their lives, and what is their marriage, or whoever it is, and then, you know, trust that and trust God.
Okay, now real quick, as we end, question. Do you think the way that you dress says something about you?
Absolutely.
Oh, that's what we're going to talk about next week. Does your dress say something about you? Make sure that you join us and give us your feedback at Patty Conwell on Twitter, Patty Conwell on Facebook, and please give us your feedback as I ask, because we want to hear what you have to say and we can address some of those questions. So we look forward to seeing you next week. Bye.
Baby doll was in the dollhouse, Barbie Ken, how it's supposed to be. But it seems like something's missing from the equation, you and me. Tell me, why am I not having fun? Yeah, in this game we play. Well, if you're tired of trying to fight the fantasy, you need to hear what I have to say. Okay, get your dancing shoes on. We're gonna have some fun today. Hey, hey, single people all over the world say God made me this way. Hey, hey, you don't need nobody else to have some fun today. And just snap your fingers from side to side and say I'm okay.